welcome. Hi, friends. I have never used this program before, so I am just double checking that it's actually working. I'm using Be Live to go live and to also share my screen, and it looks like it's working. So, yay! Technology, you never know. But today we are going to be going over the time blocking with Google Calendars. So I put together a quick little presentation for you, and we'll quickly demo how I do it for my own planning for my work and for my VA business and for my blog. And I'm going to try to keep it brief because I know we're all busy, and the whole point of this is to help you save time. So I don't want to take up a lot of your time, but I also want to give you value and show you how I do this so that you can save time in your business too and be more efficient and calm the chaos and kind of just breathe a little easier each week as you head into your work week. So I'm going to attempt to actually share my screen now and flip this and go over to my presentation. We'll see if this is actually working. And I think it is. I'm going to keep talking. So this again is time blocking with Google Calendar. And I'm going to start out by talking about why it's important. So obviously we're all busy. Some of us have full-time jobs and are doing our blog or business on the side. Some of us have families or other responsibilities, and the whole goal is to help us become more efficient and save time and stay organized so that we can get more done and be more productive. So that is my goal today. So time blocking, I think, can help you achieve this, especially if you're using a system like Google Calendar. A lot of you mentioned that you're interested in learning about Google Calendar and how to do this. So that's why I started out with this in our series. So why? Obviously, number one, as you can see here, is to prioritize your tasks. A lot of us probably have to-do lists, and those are great, and we're going to use that today. But sometimes we sit down to start work for our blog or our business, and it's just like you sit down, you're like, I don't even know where to begin because there's just so much to do. So this will help you prioritize ahead of time so that you can just sit down and start working. Number two, it'll help you plan your day. So again, you know where to focus your time and what to focus on so you can move your business forward. Three, you can get more accomplished. Like that's the whole goal, right? Is we want to get more done and not waste time spinning our wheels. Number four is to stop multitasking, which I am guilty of, and I still don't have mastered by any means. I have 3 kids at home doing remote learning, and some of you may have a similar situation. I can't avoid multitasking because I'm working while they're working, and then they have questions or technology issues. So I guess stop multitasking isn't accurate, but we're going to try to limit it so that at least when we're focused on our business and maybe during some downtime, that our brain still isn't all over the place going from one task to the other, and that we can just focus on one thing and get it accomplished. And then 5, like I said, is to limit the overwhelm. That's my goal here, is to help you guys limit the overwhelm so you can think clearly and, get more done. So next is the how. Okay, so I listed out the steps here, but I'm going to switch over to my Google Calendar as we talk through this so I can show you in real time how it works. But the first step would be to make a to-do list, which you probably already have, or you make them weekly or daily, it depends. But definitely, we'll talk a little bit more about when to do this, but I like to make a to-do list like every week and kind of prioritize when I'm going to get things done that way. But you could certainly do it every day or every evening, every morning. We'll talk about that more. But that's your step one. You can write it on paper, however works best for you. Some people have running documents on their computer or their phone app, their notes app on their phone, whatever works for you. The second step, though, would be to prioritize those tasks so that when you sit down and look at that list, it's not just 30 things that you need to do and you're not sure where to start. So there's a couple ways you can do that. And one is to write it down in a sheet like this. Now, I wonder if you can see me. I'm still not good at switching back and forth, so bear with me. Okay, here we go. So this was a product I bought, and it's handy. You don't need to buy it by any means. You can make your own. But the thing I like about it is that it breaks it down into must-dos, should-dos, and would like to do's. Okay, so that's a way to prioritize as you're making your to-do list, or after you've made it, you can sort it into these groups. You can call it, high, medium, and low as far as priority, high priority, low, medium, and low priority. You could label it number ones, number twos, number threes, A, B, C. Pick which way you think you like the best and go with it, right? So once you have them categorized like this, it'll be easier when we get to the time blocking to know where you want to schedule things, okay? So I'm going to try to go back over here. The next thing you're going to want to do is use your Google Calendar or paper calendar if you prefer. But today I'm going to be focusing on Google Calendar. And you're going to use that to block off time that is already scheduled with appointments. Okay, the next step and I'm going to show you this in real time, but I'm just going to highlight what the steps are right now. So you block off things that are already scheduled that you can't move, like doctor appointments, your work day, if you have set work hours for a 9-to-5 job, block all that off. Block off other things that are important to you, like family time, going out with your friends, parties, which I know we don't have a lot of these days, but you get what I'm saying. Any other important thing you want to schedule on your calendar. And then when you see your open time, that's when you can determine your working hours or your office hours. And that is what I'm referring to when I'm talking about your blog or your side business or even your main business. This can work for anything, really. And lastly, you're going to fill in your highest priority first once you have that time blocked off. Okay, we'll start with the high priorities, then the medium priorities, and then the low priorities. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to switch over to Google Calendar. And in this, sorry, I just turned down my volume and I could hear myself talking. Sorry about that. Okay, so here's a demo calendar that I set up within my Google Calendar because I didn't want to show any client information on this live stream. But you can see that you have the ability over here in Google Calendar to set up many different calendars, which is nice if you want to separate things between personal and work related events, or even your kids' events. You can do a lot of things in Google Calendar. It's really nice. So on a normal day, I have my Rebecca Lara, which is like my personal stuff, things I'm juggling with my kids. I have my business calendar, which is obviously my business calendar. I can set up reminders in here, or tasks, or even things that are separate from my VA business. Today I set up this one called Demo Calendar. So I started blocking out some things to give you guys an idea of what I'm talking about. So in this demo calendar, I set up when my fictitious day job might be. Okay, so maybe you work Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday from 9 to 5. Block that out. Okay, and that's as simple as clicking on here, typing in day job or whatever you want to call it. You can, sorry, I've never done it like that before. It popped up funny. Sorry, I'm going to edit it because it didn't do what I wanted it to do. Okay, so you can set the time from 9 to 5. And then down here, this is where you can select the different calendars you have set up. And you can also color code each of those calendars differently. So even within my demo calendar, I can make things different colors to keep them straight. You can see all my day jobs, I have the same color so that visually I can see what is going on. You can change it from here. If you right click on it, you can delete it if you make a mistake. Okay, so I scheduled in my day job because that doesn't budge, right? That has to stay the way it is. Then I went in and I mark down any doctor appointments we have. And mine's a living calendar, right? So as I schedule things, I update it. So all of these appointments are usually in there. But if this is your first time setting it up, you would just, click on the day. You can adjust the time, say it's 9:45 to 10:15. You can title it dentist. You could keep it this color, purple, or you can, assign doctor appointments a different color than other events. It's up to you. It's very flexible. And like, for example, for my kids, I have a different color for each of them. So if like one has a doctor appointment or a school meeting, I can see easily by what color it is, what kid it belongs to. Okay, so once you have all your commitments in there, you can also go in and block out family time, like I said, or any kind of downtime you might want to have. So maybe I make that green. I call it family time, or going out with friends. And I could do that for whatever days that I want to. I can also duplicate my events so that I don't have to type it all in. I can just change the date. And you'll see it pops up here. So maybe every night, from 5 to 7 or whatever, you're gonna leave that open for family. All right, and if you want to duplicate, you just click on it, hit these 3 dots, hit duplicate, change your date to the next day. I'll just go through that real quick. Okay, and then once you have all those commitments put in your calendar, you can see where the empty time is, or the extra time. And that's where you're going to time block your working hours, or you could call them office hours. Okay, so determine if you want to do this weekly because your weeks change, that's great, or monthly, however it works best for you. So say we're going to do it every morning from 6 to 8 because that's all the time you have this week for working on your business or your blog. You'd quickly get those scheduled. And then the next step, like I said, is to prioritize your tasks. All right, so I'm going to stop there because you get the picture, right? So you could do it Monday through Friday from 6 to 8, and then maybe you determine that on Saturday you're going to also work from 8 to 11. You can change the color down here to match the yellow. Okay, and that's the time I'm going to spend this week on my business. Now you may have caught a glimpse when I was doing this, scheduling these out, but once you click in to the event, you can edit it at any time. And down here is a notes section. Okay, so you can type in here then what you want to work on. So taking the priority list that you made, I always recommend starting with the highest priority items first. Obviously, those are things that are going to move your business along the furthest. So writing content like blog posts, sending out your email to your subscribers, things that are going to move your business forward the fastest, not the mundane, tedious things that, although they are necessary, they're not the most important. So the example I wrote in here was to, first write blog posts, second, schedule my Facebook posts for the day, and then third, write the email to my newsletter subscribers. Okay, that's what I would consider my highest priority for the day. You certainly could come down here and schedule in your medium priority tasks next. So maybe it's update profit and loss spreadsheet, something like that. Obviously, it's something you need to do, but it might not be your highest priority. And then, you know that if you get the first 3 things done, that you've accomplished what you need to accomplish that day, and you can feel good about it and feel like you did accomplish something, right? And then if you have extra time, you can always come down to the next priority list and start going through those tasks as well. If you don't get something done, you can obviously move it to the next time block. Okay. So once you do that, you could go in and schedule it for each day. So on this day, it might be, record podcast and so on. Okay, and the reason I like Google Docs is because I can copy and paste and move things around as I need to if I don't finish something. I don't have to worry about erasing things, and if I wrote in pencil, all those things. So that is how I time block my working hours, and then also like prioritize my tasks so that if I come in on Monday morning, all I have to do is click here and you can see it pop up and it tells me the first 3 things that I need to do. So I don't have to sit down and think about it and scramble through all my stuff and try to figure out my plan for the day. It's already set and ready to go. So I just live by this. I follow the list and I get things done and it feels good to check them off, right? If I don't finish something, I'm not going to beat myself up. I'm just going to, copy this over, bring it to Tuesday, edit it, and add it in here. So I'm going to update my spreadsheet first. And number 2 will then record my podcast. Okay, super easy. And so on. You can certainly schedule out all your tasks for the week if that helps you, or you could do it day by day. So that brings me to my final slide that I had here, which is when do you time block? So I left questions here. Do you want to do it every evening so that you're ready to go the next morning? Do you work better in the morning? So you want to sit down and schedule out your tasks for the day every morning. I prefer not to do that, like I just mentioned, but maybe that works better for you and that's okay. You could sit down and type in your top 3 priorities for the day and go on. You could also do this weekly on like maybe a Sunday afternoon or evening so that you have your schedule ready to go for the week and you can always adjust it, but at least you have a game plan. But most importantly, like I highlighted here, test it out and see what works for you. Maybe try it the evening before, and if that's not working, adjust, and I promise you'll find a groove. It might take a couple tries, but this system helps keep me on track for sure. I'm looking in my notebook because I mentioned to you guys in a previous post that I also use my bullet journal. I've used this in the past too to write down my priorities for the day. So maybe you don't want to list out your tasks in Google Calendar like I showed you. You just want to time block it. And so you know your working hours. And then you could certainly still do a paper priority list like this in your bullet journal, writing out your top 3 or 4 things you want to do each day and check them off, or use a sheet kind of like this so that you can list out your high, medium, and low priorities and kind of work through the list that way as well. And each day you can have a new list. Those are a couple ideas, but I think the most important thing is to just try one system, test it out. If it doesn't work, fine, try one of the other ideas that I've shared with you. Promise you'll find a groove. But I really think that time blocking will help you stay organized, keep things less overwhelming, and also it just it gives you a plan so you don't have to think about it and waste all that mental energy figuring out what you're going to do each day. Okay, and I also highly recommend that you follow these scheduled time blocks just like you would any other appointment. Just like you go to the dentist at the right time, show up to your office hours at that time, and for your own sake, hold yourself to it, commit to working those hours, and I really think your businesses and your blogs will take off, and you'll feel more accomplished, you'll feel less overwhelmed, and you get more done. So I'm not seeing any comments, but of course, if you guys have any questions at any time, You can type them in on this thread and I will get back to you. I wanted to keep this brief. It's been 20 minutes now, so I'm not going to stay on much longer because I know you guys are busy. But let me know if you have questions. Type them in here, post in the group. Either way, that way, if you have the question, I bet someone else has the question. Everyone can see the answer if you post it in the group or on this thread. So I'm happy to help you guys. Just let me know. If you want me to dig deeper into Google Calendar and all its functions, I certainly can. Just let me know what you need. Okay. I hope you're all doing well. I am gonna check. Yep, I don't see any comments right now, but just let me know if you need anything and I will help. All right. Bye, friends. If you like this video, join my free Facebook group where you can get videos like this and your questions answered. The link is in the description below.